Welcome to the Film World Podcast. This is Poet. I'm joined by Loco. What's going on, Loco?
Just chilling out.
Cool. So today we're talking about Arnie versus Sly, Stallone versus Schwarzenegger, 5 movies each in the 80s and 90s. And you've picked 5 of Stallone's movies. I've picked 5 of Arnold's. And we're stopping definitively at the 90s. We're not going into 2000s at all. And we're not doing franchises, so no Rocky, Rambo, Terminator. So yeah, why don't you hit up the first Stallone movie you got on your list, man?
So before we get there, let's just talk generally. Who did you like more? As a kid, I think I liked Arnold a little more, but when I got into my teens till now, I prefer Stallone just barely over Arnold. How about you?
I think I like Schwarzenegger, but recently I like Stallone because of the Expendables and stuff like that. But overall, I would say Schwarzenegger still.
Okay, so we're gonna do 5 versus 5. So my number 5 is 1993's Cliffhanger, where Stallone is playing Gabe Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Right in the beginning of the movie, he basically is involved with a accident of his best friend's girlfriend. Spoiler alert, she falls off the cliff. She did not hang on.
It looks like she was not a cliffhanger.
And he kind of disappears and goes into hiding for like 8, 9 months and comes back and is basically involved in a terrorist organization who are stealing money, led by the brilliant actor John Lithgow. And he's funny in it too. John is like a very underrated actor, or maybe people do rate him, but he can play the good guy, and he can play the bad guy, and he can play comedic roles really well. He can basically do everything to perfection.
True that.
And there's a hilarious line in the movie that always cracks me up.
What's that?
Near the end, all these are spoilers to everybody. So yes, the movies have been out for a while. So yeah, just to let you know. But Lithgow's in a helicopter, and he sees Stallone near the end, and Lithgow's like does this weird accent where he's like, and he's talking on the telecom, and he's like, "You're a real piece of work, you know that?" And then right away, Stallone's like, "You're a real piece of shit, you know that?"
I remember that.
It might have been slightly different, but yeah, it was along the lines of those lines, and that always, even till now, that makes me laugh.
typical 80s, 90s.
But yeah, a good movie, straight to the point, a lot of action.
Yeah.
It also has like side bad guys like
The guy from Cool Runnings?
yeah, Cool
Right.
Runnings, Leon,
Leon.
yeah,
Yeah.
Leon. He does some fighting action while he's being at Stallone. He keeps asking him questions. Where's the money? And Stallone's like, I burnt it. Wrong answer. And there's like these karate chops to him and keeps beating him up in the cave. It's so funny, but yeah, it's just a great 90s movie with a good action and just straight to the point.
Yeah. I think that was his last good movie for a long time, right?
Well, that came out at the same time as Demolition Man, so those two, yeah, I would say.
I mean, that year was probably his last good year for a while.
Yeah, so that's my number 5. What's your Schwarzenegger number 5?
Oh yeah, for me, I have The Running Man from 1987, where Schwarzenegger plays Ben Richards, and it's basically if you watch Battle Royale, Hunger Games, this came before, so it's kind of like the future where there's a game show called The Running Man, and Ben, who's basically a helicopter pilot who's been framed, um, and becomes a criminal, now as the law, gets thrown into this show. So the show, basically, they throw criminals in and let them kind of kill each other um, while they try to navigate themselves against the government enforcers and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a classic film. I think without it, there would be no Hunger Games, there would be no Battle Royale, and things like that.
And is it based off like a Philip K. Dick novel or something, or a short
No,
story?
it's a Stephen King book, actually.
Yeah, I knew it was based on a book. Have you ever read the book?
I have not. No, I should really. But yeah, it's a really fun movie and action packed, and yeah, really cool.
Okay, then I'll go to my number 4. After we say our list, we'll talk about each other's list in more detail. But we'll just
Yeah,
get.
yeah.
But a lot of controversy is going to happen. But this is my own personal list. I'm not saying these are the best movies. It's just the ones I enjoyed the most.
Right, right.
And people will probably think I put this higher, but my number four is Cobra, 1986. Marion Garetti, no nonsense cop who cuts a pizza with a knife, and for some reason talks trash to local punks, Spanish punks, and rips their vest off, wears tight jeans, and he has a gun with the Cobra symbol on it. And this is like the most '80s movie you could find.
Yeah,
And the movie sets up perfectly in the beginning. A punk is trying to rob a grocery store. Stallone is sent to kind of get rid of the problem. So he gets in there, and at this point, the punk has a girl, I believe, a woman, as a hostage,
yeah, yeah.
and he has a bomb, I believe. So he's like, "You get any closer, I'm gonna blow this place up." And Stallone, with a toothpick and sunglasses, like let's take that as what it is. A cop who's trying to clearly see what he can see is wearing sunglasses for some reason. When like lives are at the risk, he's wearing sunglasses with a toothpick. How that toothpick doesn't get like swollen in his mouth when he's rolling earlier and shooting, but magic toothpick. Go ahead. I don't shop here. And that sets the tone of what the movie is like. Straight up action, straight up over the top 80s. His ex wife, Bridget Nelson, was that her name? Or
Yeah, yeah, Bridget Nielsen. Yeah.
Bridget Nelson, who was also in Rocky 4. So yeah, he was, what can you say about this? It's a cop with an attitude, and he just does things his own way. I mean, that's all you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely worth it. Backdrop, I think we talked about this earlier. Stallone was supposed to be Beverly Hills Cop. He wanted to make it a little more serious. In the end, that discussion broke up that movie. Eddie Murphy clearly got it, and it became what it is. And Stallone kept on the idea, and he made Cobra, which gets referenced in Beverly Hills Cop 2 when Axel Foley sees the Cobra poster.
Poster.
Yeah.
Right, right, right. Yeah.
So yeah, that's my number four, Cobra.
Yeah. Clean yourself up.
You're the
All right.
disease, and I'm the cure.
All right. I got Commando as my number four. And Schwarzenegger is basically John Matrix. So one of his ex army, I guess, army soldiers in his group or whatever, taking revenge against him. They kidnap his daughter, and they try to force him to kill the president of another country. And basically, it's a rescue mission, right? So he has to go save his daughter, and he only has a certain amount of time to do it. And yeah, it's way over the top. It has some really, really funny lines. like when he gets Sully and he goes, "I'm gonna kill you last," and he finds him again. He goes, "You remember when I told you I was going to kill you last?
Yeah, you did, man. You did.
I lied," and he drops him off a cliff.
That also has a funny montage in the beginning with him and his daughter just doing random weird things.
Oh yeah, did you find that funny?
I think everyone found that funny.
His daughter's Alyssa Milano, who became famous later on. But yeah, he's like eating ice cream with her and doing stuff that Schwarzenegger or that character would never do. Riding horses, smiling over the top. Oh, God knows.
Giggling over like ice cream being spilled. That kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
like yeah. I don't want to do this ice cream shot. This is corny.
I love how they always give Schwarzenegger like the widest names too, like John Matrix.
Yeah, that guy.
What was his name in Running Man? Ben or something.
Yeah, Ben Richards.
Yeah,
Ben
right.
Richards. He's Arnold Brunswick. Huh? But this was a Commando is a great movie. I just saw it recently after a really long time,
Commando
and
also has the iconic poster, right? That everyone used to have. He was just sitting, like walking with a log. He also walks with a log.
yeah, yeah, this kind of shows his muscles. This was 1985. I forgot to mention, but yeah, really great action movie and really cool ending too with the where he takes like 50 guys out in the compound and then he kills his rival in whatever one-on-one fight when his rival had a gun. He's like, "Come on, fight me like a man." The guy just throws away the gun, idiot. But typical 80s movie. But yeah, great movie with a lot of funny lines and like good 1.5 hours of fun.
Yeah, it has a funny line in there in the end when he kills him, but I can't remember the line. Like, let off some steam or something because he killed him. Like that
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. So he kind of yeah, he puts him in a boiler and he sticks like a huge pipe through him. And yeah, you need to let off some steam or whatever.
okay. My number
uh,
three is a very underrated movie that no one talks about. That is Lockup, 1989.
yeah.
Stallone plays Frank, a guy who has like 6 months left in like a minimum prison sentence, but he has issues with a warden who for the last 6 months moves him from that prison into like one of those hard ass prisons like Shawshank style.
Right.
And he keeps pushing him and he keeps like doing things to make sure that Stallone slips so he can put Stallone in a death penalty or just keep him there for life. And Donald Sutherland is actually playing the warden. And it's a great movie. I love prison movies. I don't know why, but yeah, it shows everything like the camaraderie Stallone builds with everyone, the torture he goes through, the beatings, all that stuff. Yeah, so a very underrated movie. I think everyone should go ahead and watch it.
Yeah, that is a
1989 Lockup.
yeah, that is a definitely underrated movie. All right, I'll move on to my number three, which is Total Recall, which is based on the Philip K. Dick novel or short story. And yeah, Schwarzenegger plays Douglas Quaid, and he's kind of like a bored construction worker. So and this is a set in the future. Well, wants some adventure in his life, so he gets these, goes for these implants. But next thing he knows, people are trying to kill him, chase him down, and then there's a whole storyline of him trying to take out the villain who's kind of robbing the people of air. Cohagen, damn it, Cohagen, give the people air. And there's it's a great action movie set in the future. Sharon Stone's in there. Michael Ironside, who's that always plays that same tough, either a bad guy or a cop. And yeah, overall a great movie with some funny lines too. Get your ass to Mars is one of them.
And
And
it was really well done. Like the future looked like the future. And how
yeah, yeah,
interesting story where you can kind of live your dream, right? Like the dream feels like reality.
yeah.
And how they play with that whole concept, the whole movie. So you're wondering what's real and what's not. My favorite line of the movie is earlier on when they capture Stallone. Victor tells him, Victor tells him about a party or something like, "Oh, it's going to be a great party."
Yeah.
Fast forward later on when Stallone throws him off like an elevator with the guy's arms being chopped off.
Yeah. What does he say?
See you at the party, Victor.
He won't be seeing him because he's dead.
The fact that he remembered that and just kept that with him too, like while he's like tied up earlier in the movie. That's why he remembers like this son of this asshole saying talking about a party and stuff. So he brought it up. But yeah, I don't know why he said it when the guy's clearly dead and falling off. He should have said it before then. But yeah, classic line.
Also, when he kills his wife, who's Sharon Stone, consider that a
Divorce.
divorce.
Bullet to the head.
Blap. I think that marriage is over. All right. Yeah, you go on. What's your next one?
I also want to talk about that movie, the freakiness of when his face is boiling in Mars. How funny it looks now, but it used to freak me out as a kid
Oh yeah,
with
yeah,
his
yeah,
eyes popping out.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's some really weird things in that movie, like an alien kind of weird thing living in someone's stomach. But yeah, a classic. My
Yeah.
number two and number one can kind of be interchangeable, but I'm going to leave it as this. I love them both. Number two is 1989 again. It was Tango and Cash. So yeah, Stallone plays Raymond Tango, one of the finest cops in the city, and he's like very well kept. You know, wears like fancy clothes, glasses. I believe he plays his character gay. You know, he does a lot of references to the fact that he is gay, and of course, his partner is Cash, played by the brilliant Kurt Russell, another actor I really like.
Yeah, Kurt Russell, good for real though.
Yeah, Kurt Russell's cool. So they're both the top two cops. They're competing with each other, and they both get framed by the bad guy and get put to jail. And they escape, and then how they're trying to clear their name and how they want to get revenge is
Yep.
basically the movie. I mean, the story isn't much, but the interaction between those two is great. And you also have Terry Hatcher playing Stallone's sister and Kurt Russell's love interest. So
Right. And it's so nice that you named our cats your cats after them, didn't you?
yeah, I named them straight after this movie, Tango and Cash.
So yeah, I'll move on to mine. Number two is Kindergarten Cop,
Oh, great
uh,
movie.
1990. I think this is one of his best movies ever, and the movie is just hilarious with so many lines, funny lines. But the basic story is he has to go undercover as a substitute kindergarten teacher to try to flush out a criminal whose son is in the school, but he doesn't know which which kid's dad is that criminal, so he has to kind of flush it out, right? His ingenious way of doing that is, we're going to play a game today. Who was your daddy, and what does he do? Brilliant police work.
Yeah, just to add to that, he was originally not supposed to be the teacher. He has a partner who gets sick during the
Yeah, yeah,
travel, so he has to kind of take over. And he's a ruthless cop in the beginning and has to clean up too. I always found that funny kind of thing. Where
he's the he's the party pooper.
Hi, Cindy. So yeah, he's trying to get this bad guy for a while, and the cops think that this guy's ex-wife like stole a lot of money and ran away with it. That's why he's after them. But really, this guy he just wants the kid, and he thinks his wife stole her. So he's
Yeah.
mine. He stole it from me.
This has so many great lines, like it's not a tumor, it's not a tumor, and
There
there's
is
another
no
one.
bathroom.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's poor kids. They're like kindergarten kids, and there is no bathroom.
One, two, three, four. There's no funny thing. But the soundtrack, I believe, was amazing in this movie. Yeah, I
Yeah,
still hear it today.
yeah, yeah. John Kimball. John Kimball was his name. 1990 Kindergarten Cup with Penelope Ann Miller, and just a fantastic, fun movie that the whole family loves. I think.
Another funny scene, I don't know if other people find it funny, is when, spoiler alert again, there's so many funny lines in this movie that, and some like are meant to be and some aren't. But he's getting stretchered out, and clearly he just got shot. And one of the kids is like, "Hey, Mr. Kimball, are you okay?" He's like, "No, he's not okay."
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
"What
Holding
okay?
up,
Getting stretchered ambulance."
he just got popped.
And his partner, I forgot her name in the movie, but she played the role really well, especially when she's pretending to be Schwarzenegger's sister.
Oh yeah, Ursula.
Uh,
I am his sister.
And yeah, she's like in the restaurant. Oh yeah, this is good. Yeah, this is good. When she talking about the food and stuff.
Yeah, she was a good actress. She was funny.
But yeah, like the bad guy's mom is also like one of the main bad guys in the movie, and she runs over Ursula over with a car. And right in the end, she saves her own ass by beating Ursula with a baseball bat.
Yeah,
But then
yeah.
you just see like a punch of her face, like a lead order. You're not so tough without your car. Ah, yeah. I always found that funny too. Just the way it was done.
Yeah. He's my boy. He's mine. You stole him from me.
Like a suave bad guy with a ponytail. Like, oh, hilarious.
This is hilarious. And yeah, that was a great movie, man. So let's move on to your next movie.
My number one. So
Yeah.
this might be my favorite Stallone movie, including Rocky and Rambo,
Oh, what?
or it's really up there with them. I'm the Demolition Man. 1993, John's
Right, right.
Pardon, also set in the future,
Yeah,
and it's basically about a cop I don't know, in this world, instead of like killing the bad guys or putting them in jail for life, they freeze them for like eternity or however long their time is meant to be spent. So
sentence. Yeah,
yeah, sentence. So even cops who do things the wrong way, they blame him for like killing innocent people, which he didn't do. But yeah, so they freeze Stallone and they freeze Wesley Snipes, his rival,
Mm.
Phoenix.
Yeah. Simon
So
Phoenix.
Simon Phoenix. So yeah, that's the whole movie. Is just good action, good humor. The way they showed the future was really well done.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
cars driving by themselves, like Skype calling, like FaceTime, like a lot of things that weren't
Yeah.
around.
No violence. That's the main thing. There's no violence.
No violence in
So
the future. So yeah, so this cop who basically just used to do anything to get the job done has to like abide with the new future rules. And there's a young Sandra Bullock there in there too, and she's like obsessed with the '80s and '90s in the movie, like retro for her.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And yeah, it's just Wesley Snipes' best performance, I believe. It was just awesome. He's
Oh
such
yeah,
a
Wesley
funny bad
Snipes.
guy and
It was
intimidating
amazing.
at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He
that
was awesome. They
yeah,
were awesome opposite each other. It was a great.
yeah. I think even Wesley Snipes. Yeah, I think he's the highlight of this movie. I would say like the lines you remember, the
Yeah,
little like "Ooh, ooh, ooh, ooh," like while
yeah,
throwing
yeah.
people out of like buildings and smashing them
Yeah,
through windows. Just his little quirks.
yeah. He was fantastic. Yeah, he was great.
And it had like the three seashells, all that stuff. Like, yeah, it was just a cool movie. Like, it was just fun to watch. And yeah, there's a lot of other. There's also like a sub story in there where there's people living underground just because they want to speak up. But all that kind of stuff. I would recommend you watch it just to see it. But
Yeah.
amazing movie, great action. Probably one of my favorite villains of all time. And yeah, great. Just I don't know, not CGI, but yeah, just the great way how they show the future, like
Yeah.
the effects and all that stuff. How they built the world was very interesting.
True that. True that. True that. Is Predator 1987. Schwarzenegger plays Dutch, who's Alan Schaefer, and very simple story. There's a predator in the jungle, and he's picking off army unit one by one, and Schwarzenegger's the head of that unit. And yeah, it's just straight action, man. Predator hunting Dutch, and vice versa. Some fantastic action. A lot of great supporting characters. Um, Carl Weathers is in the movie. He plays Apollo Creed. He's good. Jesse Ventura. The other actors. Uh, it's got that famous line, "Get to the chopper."
Get to the chopper now, go!
Get to the chopper, and you are one ugly mofo, and all those. I think this is his best movie outside the Terminator films. Personally, you agree or disagree?
I disagree, but yeah, it's up there for me definitely. I would probably
Yeah,
put Kindergarten Cop as number one out of the Terminator movies. But even
yeah,
Predator was like cool. Like he was just done in such a cool way, menacing, cool technology, and you look like a badass alien as well.
yeah. It was just badass. Like the soldiers getting picked up one by one, and they're all kind of. Some of them were funny. The lines they had were pretty cool too. Just the whole movie was pretty good.
So, what would you say is your favorite Stallone movie outside Rocky and Rambo?
Hmm, that's a tough one, man. I might have to go for Demolition Man as well. Yeah, I would say Demolition Man. Yeah, for the reasons you said, like the whole story was really good, and Stallone was great, and Snipes, and it really worked. It was like it's actually comparable to, I guess, Total Recall a little bit, but it's light-hearted than Total Recall, but in the same kind of vein. And I like the one-on-one thing with Stallone against Snipes. That was really cool.
Yeah, the last fight is pretty good. Uh, yeah, very memorable movie. I don't even know if it was like a huge hit or not. I don't think it was, but there's rumors there's going to be a part two. So that would be interesting if they get to do that.
Wow, part two. That'd be cool. Same, Wesley Snipes is back too.
I don't know if it'll be Wesley Snipes since his head gets blown up in the end, but they could always. with
I
that kind of
forgot.
movie, they could always work around it. Like they took his DNA and made a new one or something, or they
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
they'll have time travel or something. You never know. But
yeah. Yeah.
honorable mention, mine goes to Nighthawks, Stallone with a beard, undercover cop.
Oh yeah,
So yeah, if you got nothing to watch, check out Nighthawks. No one ever talks about that movie too. Early '80s
yeah,
or late '70s, maybe even too.
yeah. I haven't seen that. For me, honorable mention goes to True Lies. That was a big movie in the '90s. Um, yeah, that was a good movie. True Lies, where he's a FBI agent or a secret agent, and it's a comedy action film. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
All right, guys, that's what our favorite Stallone and Schwarzenegger movies were. If you want to put down the comments below, if you're listening on YouTube, what yours were, that'll be very interesting and a fun topic to talk about. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for listening.
All right, thank you, everyone. This has been the Fillmore Podcast with Poet and Loco. Stay tuned for the next episode.